Hello everyone, welcome back to Research Academy, and I am back with another analysis video. But this time I'm not going to bring you an analysis of something which is going to happen and how to approach it, but this is something which already happened and how you all can approach it and design your preparation accordingly. So when everyone was busy with the NLAT and CLAT conundrum around and whether the semester final examination would be there or will be awarded degrees with simple efforts of giving examination or submitting papers or getting upgraded. An examination which took its own toll on the law people was NET examination. So yeah, I'm going to talk about the NET examination and I'm going to analyze it into parts, paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 which is general to everyone, but still it needs your attention and focus in a similar manner as law needs. And because one thinks, okay, I am from the law stream, law is something I can easily catch up. No, you can't. Like that was the first, like what I can say, first impression or first reaction of the people कि okay, more than paper 1 law was something which made my examination competition more for myself. So yeah, you cannot take law and like in a very easy take or easy hands. But yeah, because you're a law student already, the gist of the advice or gist of everything which I can say is, of course it doesn't needs very hard or very tough preparation for it, but it needs what can I say, like not only net but every other examination. What needs now more than your hard working is presence of mind, how well you are approaching everything you are reading. So law, if I talk about or analyze, it wasn't something ki you can just simply read in your textbooks, or like textbooks I am concerning with the law preparation textbooks, or something which you can simply read online or anywhere else. It's something which you're reading in all your years of law school. So there was a combination of everything. So if I can ask, what is the 72 article of Constitution says? Everyone knows pardoning power of the president. But at the same time, if I ask you what is the chronological order of the US cases in particular subject or particular what can I say, particular incidents like basic structure or doctrine, some doctrine, we can't say. We can tell कि okay, this was something related to Article 14 in India and in US as well, like right to equality as well, constitution bill or something, but we cannot tell the chronology of it. But then what I would suggest is you need not to know also. I'm not saying okay, just skip that, but what I'm trying to say ki now when you are reading things, now when cases are connected with the US cases, because US is the authority we like Indian judgment generally cite and take and put in their judgments, or we read in our textbooks. Now when you read it, just read it in its entirety. Read along with the ears, and ears couldn't be simply remembered. But what you need to do is read along with the ears and development. कि okay, what was after Moon versus Illinois? What development on this particular topic did the US Constitution took after Moon versus Illinois or previously to that? So now when you read cases, just don't read it simply. Like if I trace out the right to privacy thing, then first judgment as there was MP Singh versus Union, then there was Kharak Singh, then there was this case which overtook the both the judgments, but then the entirety was followed till KS Puttaswamy judgment. So now when you read right to privacy, remember how not only like okay, this chronology you can easily grip on, because there's a very famous thing which you can grip on. Yeah, Govind versus State. After Karan Singh, it was Govind versus State. Now when you're reading right to privacy, you can easily grip on that. Okay, this was a development. But I'm trying to say okay, now whatever particular thing or doctrine or topic you're dealing with, remember to read the cases in their chronology. So you need not to remember, even if you're not remembering your year, you can easily remember the chronology. But at the same time, I'm not asking you to skip the years. At least remember the years. But even if you're forgetting, because that's not something we can keep in our head for long, unless, like, except for one or two thing, like the rest of the rare example or right to privacy or doctrine of basic structure. What you need to do is read the cases in their chronological order. Just don't simply read ki, okay, there was this Govind Singh where right to privacy was upheld, and previously there were MP Singh and Kharak Singh. Read it like that. Previously there was first MP Singh, then Kharak Singh. So like that, you can easily, if you're not even remembering the years, but you can easily catch a grip on the chronology of everything. So that's one portion which like made a roller coaster ride for the law student. Ki how come we can deal with the chronology in so deep? And then, so like that's what I'm telling, ki be focused on whatever you are reading, because the same happened in the jurisprudential area as well. The question was regarding which author wrote which book, but you have to set up in a chronology. So now the best thing which I can suggest is how law developed accordingly. So obviously before Bentham it was Austin, then it was Hart, then there was like other people followed up lately. So now whenever you are reading Positive School, read it like that. Started with Austin, Bentham was the student, Bentham carried on, Hart criticized, but Hart carried on not with entirety, but with modification. And then not only within the Positive School realm, what you have to do when you're reading a school, compare it accordingly. Okay, which school came first, then which school came after this, then which school came after this. Like that, you can at least remember the chronology. So there was a question ki, okay, which author wrote which book, and you have to set up in chronology. So if it's coming like your Austin, Bentham, Savney, Longfellow, or any other, and if you're reading it accordingly ki which school came first and which school after that and which school after that, then even if you're not like too much prepared with the year in your head, what you can do is simply, okay, you can revive your entire thing ki, okay, this scholar was followed by this scholar was followed by this. Then you can make not a direct attempt, but at least eliminating option attempt. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. More than your hard work, what examination needs now is your presence of mind. Is your presence of mind and your smart work, not simply putting inky ponky ponky, but a smart work in eliminating the odd one out option. So that's something which is going to help you a lot in longer race if you try and develop and inculcate those instincts from now itself. So because no examinations are perfect, and no one can prepare perfectly for everything. Although those students, either they are so like UPSC examination, they give entire into a year or two for it, or those who read everything in a very focused manner. These two categories are someone like only hardworking and putting entire thing, or those who are focused too much and reading everything with it, like with all the attention and everything, are the one who brings out an extraordinary score or brings out an something I can say like easily what other people who depend on a last minute preparation can't do much. So it's not like last minute people also can't, but I should suggest you okay, this trend shouldn't be followed it like that anymore, because when you are a law student, I cannot say ki, okay, I don't find a necessity to escape from reading. This is something you are into it. So when now you are reading everything, and if you are thinking net as an examination to aspire for, read everything in their entirety. Don't just mug it up, read and understand, and I bet you that's going to help you in a longer race no matter what. Then the next trend which you are following these days is just to be well versed with the upcoming trends and every current affair. That's something important for your personal knowledge no matter what, but only that is not going to help you in examination, and that's what net proved you. So there was a question of IT, and the tragedy was that question was repeated twice, but still you can't answer that question. Like most of the people can't. There might be a rare population who might be knowing it well, and that was regarding some amendment which deleted some word in the IT Act accordingly via some, like in some schedule. So we generally read those amendment which bring which are a change bringer, or which like, even if not that, but if we are well versed with the constitution amendment more or large, but not every other amendment, and we generally pick those areas which are too much into everyday affairs, not just simply we are reading for sake of it, though IT is not that, but still we don't know about the how, like what has been drawn from the schedule of an IT Act. What we can do for it, simple is, even if you don't know, make out, like, that's what, make some assumption or guesses, eliminate option. But what we can do well is, that's where your contemporary knowledge helps, but that was some amendment which happened in a previous years, not like in a very recent years. What we can do for it, what I already said, and I said for every examination, be repetitive with your barracks. Like, you can't take on everything which is happening, and that was some previous, even if people or law students are so much into current affairs now in past 1 or 2 years, they cannot just simply pick out past 5 years current affairs and get into that and read those things again, okay, what all changes have been what. So what I constantly suggest you, upgrade yourself with the basics bare acts. That's something which is not going to just help you for examination, but everything upcoming. Because constitution is never out of line, never out of your scope, or never out of your life. In every sphere, if you're a law student, you bring up your mind of my rights thing. So when you bring up constitution is something which pops up first in your mind. So if you can't simply say, okay, I read constitution, I read it in a too great manner and I read it well, but that's of no use if you don't remember it. Okay, what all are the exceptions in Article 19(1), or how could privacy a part of Article 21? So that's what, like, I'm bringing out your gist of examination, how you should carry. Don't delay it for a last minute preparation. Law is something needs a constant reading, not mugging up, but a constant reading and understanding. Coming up to the first portion, if I come to, that's something general to everyone. So you can find too much analysis on the same. On this platform, I can simply say it was a moderate level difficulty examination, but what I can say कि okay, how to approach it, you can bifurcate the subjects, which are the like most important, which are something, which are the subject which you can easily catch on. Like for me, logical reasoning and maths is something which I don't need to pick it up again for the simply sake of an examination. What I need to do is, like, there was a question of compound interest, I need not to solve those entire questions again. I just need to go back and remember my formula, because by this time you should be clear about okay, what to put in which component while we are putting our numbers in a formula. But that's not the case. Math is an exception in India, with like lot many people have this crisis of maths. What you can do is, for preparing paper 1, pick your book at least 2 months before entering into, like, or giving your net examination, apart from maths. So the two basics are the most important, are the research aptitude and teaching aptitude. When I read those for those paper, I don't like it at all. This is something the law student won't find appealing at all. Try to read, and try to read it so hard and so well that you don't need not to read it again to clear your examination again. So that's like one piece of advice which I'll give you. Whatever it takes, give it, because this is something not going to help you for your net examination only, but after examination also. Because if you're aspiring for teaching associate or research associate, this is something which will take you a long way, though not in entirety. Like, you are not going to be okay, what all are the teaching methods, you'll follow your own, but at least that will give you a clear idea of the basis of the teaching methods and everything. So what I'm trying to say ki it's important, it's entirely important, though not very engaging. What one piece of advice I can give is, just read it like anything, that you don't have to read it again. then you are master of your own teaching method and master of your own research analysis. But before that, you have to give this much effort if you are going to prepare for net examination. And then coming to other portions, like this time it was a lot of speculation okay, communication will be a part for the examination because all this pandemic times we were so much online and doing everything, but that didn't turn up. That didn't happen. So in that case, again, I'll suggest कि okay, bifurcate which are the most important ones. Teaching aptitude, research aptitude, DI, reasoning and maths are your most scoring things. And then come to this. Don't escape them, but please take like these things can be delayed for your last month preparation. These all you can actually take in last month preparation. Read your books, like mug up or read them again and again to retain in your mind. Done with examination and you're done with it. So it's like that okay, last month preparation could help in all these areas. And if I come to environmental knowledge was again something you need not to read in entirety okay, what all soil formats are or what all weather layers are. Like, that should be written. That's not something I'm asking you to skip. But again, I'm asking environment need a very presence of mind, because environment protocols, environment, so there was a question on sustainable development. So environment things are also of a very current affairs and a current knowledge thing. What you need to do is whenever you read anything like that, whenever you are reading, just make a note of it. Make a note of it and remember this is not something gonna help you this particular time. This will help you a long way whenever you are appearing for any examination. So read those questions in this manner. Then, if I come to other portions, then there's a very good portion, though less, is of your affairs, not current affairs, but general affairs. So the general affairs are not something you need to read in a very deep thing, okay, like you have to prepare for UPSC or any other examination, but the minimum general affair, which you can only trace out with the past year question paper format. You can't trace it out simply by reading it. So the best way for it is to look into the videos which deal with the net questions for paper one, or take a note of the past year question papers. So you'll get an idea what type of a current affairs to follow. So it's not a deep current affairs, ki which sports is going to held in which year, which place, or what is a recent mission being launched or something like that, but somewhere relatable to the net examination, but that you have to trace from your past year papers and everything. And yeah, that's all, like more or less for the overall analysis. Let's see how the result comes up and how the cutoff comes up regarding the whole pandemic situations and everything, because I guess many might have to drop and many are thinking to reappear for it. So yeah, that's my piece of advice for law student at least. कि now whenever you read in law anything which you know, because you have this mind to bifurcate things, which you know is not going to just limit to your textbook and your answer sheets in your semester examination, read it so well and in entirety that when you have to appear for any such entrance exam, you need not to read your books and everything entirely again. You just need to have an idea of the whole thing in entirety, and by that you can easily opt out for a strategy of eliminating the option thing. And for paper one, you should at least start your preparation 2 months ago. But if you're good with your maths, reasoning, and everything, then I guess 1 month preparation to bring on and to be very focused with the paper one will suffice your purpose, not only for net, even for JRF. But what you need to do is to prepare your hard work and smart work together. That's all from Juro Academy. Thank you.